right, so welcome everybody. It is quite a semester, right? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over how your Certified Teacher Secure Representative exam is going to work now that we're in a remote environment. So there's going to be a lot of documents I'm going to be sharing with you, a lot of links, a lot of resources, but to help you out, I have centralized them all into one location. So you should be receiving an email with all this information, but I'm going to show you right now what that's all going to look like. So let me pull up that screen real fast. All right, and I will share that with you. There we go. Excellent. All right, so we are. Okay, there we go. So you are going to get an email today with a copy of this video recording, and it's also going to have a link to this OneDrive. Now in this OneDrive is going to be all of the documents and links that you are going to need in order to take your Certified Teacher Secure Representative exam. So there's going to be a folder with all the documents. These will be emailed to you, but you can also access them here. We're going to go through a few of those today. There's going to be a second folder where you're going to submit your official policy that you have received it. I do need everybody to submit that. I'm going to show you what that looks like, and you're going to submit it to this folder so we have a record. You're also going to have the links to the registration where you can register for your exam this semester, and a link to Certified Teacher where you can sign up for the test prep program. So everything will be centralized here. It will also be sent to you in an email as well. Okay, so let's go through some of the things that are happening. So the first thing is, some of you might be brand new to Certified Teacher. You might be like, what is that? So we're going to go through that really fast. At any point, if you have questions, you can feel free to type them into the chat or unmute your microphone and ask. I will not be monitoring the chat until the end of the presentation, just so you know. But I will look at it at the end of the presentation. I can answer your questions then. All right, so what is Certified Teacher? So Certified Teacher is an exam prep program. In order for you to become a teacher in the state of Texas, you have to take 2 exams. Those are your PPR and your content exam. The content exam is basically the subject you want to teach. So for some of you, that might be middle school math. For others, it might be high school math. It might be middle school science. It might be biology. It might be chemistry, or it might be physics. Those are the ones we certify. So if you want to get certified in something else, we don't offer those. We can talk a little bit about how you could get admitted into a different one later, but we can answer that question at the end of the presentation. So you're going to want to take your content exam, and you're also going to want to take this PPR exam. The PPR stands for Professional Pedagogy and Responsibilities. It's basically, do you know how to be a good teacher? Now, in order to help you pass both of these exams, we use a program called Certified Teacher, which basically preps you. What it does is it gives you practice tests, modules, quizzes, flashcards, things like that. So that way when you take the test, the real test, you should be ready to go and pass it on the first try. Now, why do you want to pass it on the first try? Well, there's a couple reasons. The first one is this: money. These exams are not free. They cost a lot of money. So every time you take one, you are going to have to pay for it out of pocket. So unless you have just a lot of money that you want to spend on these exams, I would suggest trying to pass it the first time. The second reason is because if you do not pass it by the 5th time, you cannot be certified in the state of Texas, ever, in that subject area. So for example, if you do not pass your middle school math exam, you have 5 tries, then you will never be able to be certified middle school math teacher in the state of Texas. Now, can you still teach at a private or certain charter schools? Yes, but why limit yourself? You want to be able to teach anywhere. You want to be able to pass these exams. If you do not pass that PPR exam, you cannot be any teacher in the state of Texas. PPR is for everyone from preschool teacher to coaches to music teachers to calculus teachers. Everyone must pass that one. So you have 5 tries ever. And if you do not pass by the 5th try, that's it. So you want to pass before your 5th try. You really want to pass your 1st try so you're not worrying about it. The third reason why you want to pass the first time is because we as a program get evaluated by how many people pass the exams. If not enough students pass our exams by their 2nd attempt, then we can lose certification. That means, this is really important for students who are going into the smaller subject areas like chemistry or physics. If we do not have enough chemistry or physics students pass as a percentage, then nobody could be certified. So for example, if we only have 2 chemistry students take the exam, one of them fails, that's a 50% failure rate. So if that happens for enough semesters, the state of Texas says, you know what, nobody can have that chemistry certification. So even if you passed, if not enough other people pass, then nobody gets certified. So 3 very important reasons why you want to pass those exams. Money, you only get 5 tries, and if not enough people pass as a program by their 2nd attempt, nobody gets certified in that content area. So this is why we're using Certify Teacher. We want to make sure that you pass on that first go, and you are ready to go. You don't have to worry about it anymore. So how does Certify Teacher work? Well, Certified Teacher costs $35 per exam. So you're going to pay $35 for the PPR and $35 for the content. However, for most of you, you're not going to do it in the same semester, both of them. We split it up. So you're probably only going to be purchasing one of those 2 exams. Now, in order to get that discount code, because normally it's $55, you will need this code right here. You will be receiving this document and it will be in the email. This code gives you that reduces your price down to $35, but only if you use your @UTRGV email. If it's not showing up, it's probably because you're using a different email account. It does have to be your UTRGV email. You will sign up for a Certified Teacher at the Certified Teacher site. Looks like this one. When you sign up, and this is important, you need to tell them, they're going to ask you what program you are. You need to tell them that you are UTRGV UTeach. If you just select UTRGV, it's going to put you with all of those early education majors, all of those Spanish majors, all of those history majors who are also getting certified to become teachers. We don't want you with them. We want you with us. Stick with us. UTRGV UTeach. Select that one. If you don't, please contact the program so that way they can move you, so that way we can have access to your results. All right? Now, here's how it's going to work. After you purchase the program, you sign up, you purchase the program, you will take a secure representative exam. Now, this is important. Once you purchase Certified Teacher, do not start the program. Do not start Certified Teacher. You have to take your secure representative exam first. Secure representative exam is a big fancy way of saying a benchmark. We want to see where you are at initially. Okay, we want to see the very first time you take that exam, what kind of score would you get, so that way you know what you know and what you don't know and what you need to learn. Okay, so here's the thing again. I want you to think about this. Answer. You can just, answer to the muted microphone. Once you sign up for Certified Teacher, what do? Your answer should be nothing. You do nothing because you can't do anything with the program until you take your secure representative exam. Okay, so you purchase the program, you leave it alone, and then you're going to get to it after you take that benchmark test. How does that work? For the secure representative exam, you are going to receive a link. And by the way, if at any point you can't see what I'm supposed to be showing you, please let me know. So you are going to receive a link, a document like this that has all of the dates, and it has a link of where you're going to register. Here are all the dates for fall. We are going to be offering 4 sessions in September, and the remaining 5 we're going to be offering in November. You only need to sign up for one of them, most of you, like 99% of you. There are a couple exceptions, we'll talk about them later. You can pick whichever one works best for you. Yes, Monique.
I'm so sorry, I have a question. I haven't taken a UTeach class in I think one semester because I was done with my core or something like that. But I already signed up for the course and I took the practice exam with Miss um Miss I think a teacher that I was taking for step 2, and I already went through the practice exam, but I don't think I took the CT secure exam.
Okay, so the secure representative exam is that benchmark. It's just the fancy way that we refer to the benchmark. And the reason why we do that is it's secure because there was a master teacher there who was monitoring you while you were taking the exam. So if you took this exam with like a master teacher there, and most likely it was like in the computer lab. If you did it in the spring, it might have been online through Zoom, then that was the secure representative exam. If you just took it by yourself in your home, then that does not count. We will not count that. It has to be with a master teacher, making sure that you're following the proper protocols and that this really is a benchmark and you're treating it in a very real sense so that we can get a very accurate depiction of where you are starting off. So if you took it with the master teacher in that secure setting, you're good to go. If you didn't, then you will need to take that secure representative exam again with the master teacher in the secure setting.
Okay, would you happen to know if we did take it by any chance? Because I really don't remember.
Yes, I would, because we have a login sheet. So absolutely. So you can email me the date that you think you took it, and I can check the login sheet and I can see if your name is there. So that is very important, is that anytime you take one of these secure exams, you will need to sign in. So that way we have a record. Sometimes people lose their logs, things like that. The only way we can verify that you were there is with those sign-in sheets. So if you are not sure if you took the right exam, or if you meet these qualifications, or if you lost your log or anything like that, you are always welcome to email me and I can check our sign-in sheets and to verify that you did in fact take the exam like you were supposed to at that specific date. Okay?
I have a
Okay,
question.
thank
So
you.
the PPR and the contact exam, that's for both to take that benchmark test?
Yes, that is a good
Okay.
question.
Okay.
Both PPR and content do have to take the benchmark. So you will take those, like I said, most people take them in 2 separate semesters. So we'll go over that in just a second. Some people will need to take it in the same semester because they're playing catch up. But for most people who are on the normal path, you will take the PPR one semester and you will take the content the other. But in both cases, you do need to take that secure representative, that benchmark test. They are 2 separate tests, so they need 2 separate benchmarks.
Okay, and so we can go into the certified teacher to find out which one is the one that we're taking that we already took, or?
So if you go into Certified Teacher, yes, there is a record of your exams if you have taken an exam. And so you can see which one you've already taken. So if you don't remember, you just know that you took one and you're like, was it the content? Was it the PPR?
Yeah,
you can
that's
log
me.
into Certified Teacher and it will say which one you took. And if it is the content, it will tell you which content you took. And I can also show you which exams you should be taking, and that will be on some of these documents and also sent through the email as well.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Other
Ma'am,
questions? Yes.
I have a question. I'm really sorry.
No problem. That's why we're here.
Thank you. So if we're gonna take, like for example, I was reading the notes in the other tab that you had open in the bottom. It said like, oh, if you're enrolling, you teach 36. You teach 3301, knowing and learning, register for the CT content exam, right? That's what we were saying, that you sometimes they took it like they take the exam in 2 separate semesters.
Yeah.
And then do we need to do this the secure representative exam before taking that test or after the test?
Okay, so sort of when we talk about the exam, there's sort of 2 exams we're talking about. When we talk about Certified Teacher, we're talking about sort of that benchmark, that study program. So we're talking about an unofficial test. When we're talking about the official test, the one that's going to actually allow you to be certified, we're talking about what's called the official TExES exam, and it's TExES with a little X and everything else is capitalized. So basically, and again, if I'm not totally answering your question, feel free to ask it again. The way that it works is right now what we're talking about is just taking those I'm trying to highlight. We're just talking about taking those benchmark tests, those certified teacher benchmark, like where am I at? What do I need to study tests? Then later, once you have met certain requirements, and we'll go through those requirements in a little bit, you can then take the official exams. And those official exams are the ones you pay for, and they're the ones that allow you to become actual certified teachers. So when we refer to the test, just realize that there's sort of two separate tests. The study one, which is certified teacher, and then the real one, which is the TExES exam. So going back to your question, was that your question, or did you have a slightly different question?
Oh, well, now I have more questions.
I have more questions. Okay.
No, it's because as I was understanding a little bit, so we need to take, yeah, I completely understand the certified teacher. You need to take the official exams, the one that you pay, and then you need to pass, and you only have 5 attempts, right?
Yeah, the official one, you only have 5 tries. The certified teacher, you have unlimited. Like you can take as many practice exams as you want. So if you want to take a practice exam from here until the day you test, and if that's 80 practice exams, fine. You can take 80 practice exams. There's no limit.
Okay, so my question is, like, now that, for example, myself, I'm enrolling UTeach 3301, I'll need to register for the CT content exam by the end of the semester, or like when will be more appropriate?
Okay, let's go back to that, right? Because that's what we were talking about right here. These are the dates. So when you are taking one of these exams, these secure representative exams, these are the dates that the master teachers will be available to let you take it in a secure setting. That will be a remote setting. So you're going to be taking it through your computer, through Zoom. We're going to go through that in just a little bit, but these are the dates. They are 4-hour time blocks. You need to set aside 4 hours because that's how long the real exam will give you. And we want to mimic testing conditions as much as possible. You may not need 4 hours. You might finish the test in 3 hours. That's fine. You can leave early. But you need to block off a 4-hour period of time so you have it in case you need it. And they're either going to be from 9 to 1 or 1 to 5. We have this one that's 2 to 6, just FYI. November 3rd is 2 to 6, but most of them are 9 to 1 or 1 to 5. So you need to pick the one that works best with your schedule, and then you need to register for it. And here's the link on how to register. That will also be in the email, and I will just show you what that looks like. This is what the registration page looks like. If you've already taken one of these, this should look very familiar. But basically what you do is you go through, you enter your information, and then it's going to allow you to register for the exam. Most of you will only register for 1. Some of you will need to register for 2, but most of you just register for 1 exam. You're only going to take 1 this semester. You pick the day and time. If you need to change that at some point, you can. You can go back in and re-register. That's fine. But, so that is up to you. So again, I'm going to show those on my screen. You're going to get this document. Here are the times that we are available. You will need to pick one of these times. And again, it's a 4-hour block of time, but you may not need all 4 hours, and that's okay. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically we're doing is just the practice exam, but on the study mode, that's what we can do by ourselves on our computer, right?
Yes. So when you take the secure representative exam with the master teachers, you are going to sign up for study mode. The way that works, or like study tracker mode, I forget the exact language, is that you'll take the practice exam. You're just going to take it cold, see how you do. And then it's going to give you sort of this report, and it's going to say, okay, here are the ones you did really well on, here are the ones you need to work on, and then it will create specific study plan for you. Everybody's going to get a different study plan depending on how they do on that practice exam. You will complete all those modules and quizzes, and once you have that done, it will give you access to another practice exam. And then you'll do that, and it will make another study plan, and it just keeps that loop going until you pass. And when I say pass, we're going to go over what pass means, because pass doesn't mean like 70%. We have very specific qualifications on what we consider passing. Okay, so other questions at this point?
Yes, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. If we signed up for like the certified teacher like a while ago, will it still be like active, or would we have to sign up for it again?
Great question. You have access to it for 3 years, but you can always ask them to extend it, and they will. Basically, you have access until you get a passing score on the official exam. So you sign up now, you're going to have access until you pass that content exam, the real one, or pass that PPR, the real one. Sometimes you will need to ask for an extension on the time, but the program's good about giving you those extensions. You just click a button and then they're like, yeah, it's fine. If you're having any issues with that, please let us know. But that's pretty much the way it works, is that you have access to it until you pass the real exam. Once you pass the real exam, you lose access because they're like, well, you don't need this anymore. You already passed. So that's when you'll lose access to the exam.
Okay.
Other questions?
On the exam mode, that's only when we do it with a master professor present, right?
The first one has to have a master teacher present, or it does not count. Those scores are invalid. After you take the first one, then you can take the others on your own time. And that's the beauty of Certified Teacher, is it allows you to do everything on your own time, on your own schedule, so you're not waiting on us. The only one you need master teachers for is that very first one, and that's where you have to sign up for one of these dates. So you'll pick the day and time that works best for you, and then you'll go to the registration link, and you will sign up there for the day and time. And then we will send you through email the Zoom link, and you will get the Zoom link so that way you can attend that secure representative exam with the master teacher.
Okay, so
I'm sorry?
we can practice the exam as much as we can, but one of them has to be with the mastering.
The first one has to be with the master teacher. After that, everything else is done on your own time, on your own pacing. So you determine your schedule from there. The only one that has to be done with the master teacher is the first one, the benchmark, the secure representative exam. That's your benchmark. Okay, so something else I'm going to show you is, which exam do I take? There's a lot of confusion about that, right? Which exam am I signing up for? So if you are in Knowing and Learning 3301, you are going to sign up for the content exam. Which is your content exam? I'll show you that in a second. If you are in 3302 Classroom Interactions, you are going to be signing up for your PPR exam. If you did not, or now at this point, if you are in Classroom Interactions, you should have already taken your content last semester or 2 semesters ago. If you didn't, then you need to sign up for both. So remember I said there's going to be a certain number of people that need to sign up for both? Those are the people. If you didn't already take your content and you're already in Classroom Interactions, you need to sign up for both content and PPR, because now you're a little bit behind from where you should be. But if you are in Knowing and Learning, you should just be signing up for the content. And if you are good in Classroom Interactions, you already took your content, you should just be signing up for the PPR. Now, some of you fell into that little donut hole where you didn't sign up for your content or PPR, but you've already completed Classroom Interactions. Sign up for the one you need. Okay, whichever one that is, sign up for that one. If you need both, sign up for both.
Ms. Goldberg,
Yes.
what if I'm stuck waiting for like confirmation to take the test already? Like I've already got the 80%, I've already sent my thing in. It's taken like probably like a month and a half already. So
Okay.
I'm just waiting at this point.
So in that case, you would want to probably follow up with the co-directors or OEPA, wherever the sticking point is. You're going to want to send them a follow-up email and get that organized. And we're going to go into those in just a second for people who are like, wait, what's that 80% he's talking about? So first, my Knowing and Learning students. So you are signing up for your content exam, right? Which one do I sign up for? It depends on your major. So here are the exam codes. These are the ones you're good, and the name of the exam. please pay special attention to the exam code and the name of the exam. Some of these exams look very similar. There is one that's called Science 7 through 12, and there is one called Life Science 7 through 12. They are two very different exams. Life Science 7 through 12 is an exam you want if you want to teach biology effectively, if you're a biology major. If you sign up for the Science 7 through 12, where it doesn't have that word life, you just signed up for the composite exam. They're going to be asking you questions about geology, astronomy, chemistry, biology, and physics. You don't want that exam. I tell you from personal experience, that is a tough exam. So make sure you sign up for Life Science 7 through 12, not Science 7 through 12. Now, at some point, if you want to challenge the composite exam, go for it. But right now, sign up for this one. Make sure you're using the right exam code. All right. Also, make sure you're paying attention to the numbers. Am I signing up for 4 through 8, which is the middle school, or am I signing up for 7 through 12, which is the high school? The other thing is my PPR folks. So these are the ones who are in classroom interactions. If you're in classroom interactions, you're signing up for the PPR. You need to make sure you select PPR EC through 12, exam code 160. They just added last semester a new PPR exam for industrial and trade. So unless you want a bunch of questions that have to do with teaching people how to do, manufacturing, do not sign up for that one. Here's the thing. If you sign up for the wrong exam and you catch it before you take that exam with us, you're okay. Certified Teacher will switch it out. But if you sign up for the wrong exam and you take it during the secure representative, then Certified Teacher will do nothing and you have to pay another $35. So make sure you sign up for the right exam. So check it out, check out the exam codes, make sure you're signing up for the correct one, okay? Questions about that?
If I'm in CI and my major is interdisciplinary science and I want to teach chemistry, would I still sign up for the PPR through 12?
Yeah, everyone signs up for the same PPR. Okay. It doesn't matter. PPR is all the same. The ones that are different are the content. Everyone gets the same PPR. Good question. Everyone gets the same PPR. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just don't sign up for industrial and trade. Trust me, you don't want that one. All right, so you pick your day and time. You sign up for your exam, and then you do nothing until the actual exam day. The exam day, whenever it is, you'll have a Zoom link. There'll be instructions. It will tell you what to do. You're going to log in. There'll be a master teacher there. They'll walk you through the process. They'll take the exam with them. They'll sign your little log electronically, and they'll send it to you. Okay? Now,
Ms. Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
On the exams, the exam prep programs, that page.
This one. Yes.
Yes, that one.
Okay.
Last semester, I signed up for the math 7 through 12 and I took the representative exam with you.
Okay.
But I never remember signing up for the PPR EC through 12.
So you would do that this semester. So you took the content last semester. This semester, you're signing up for PPR.
I didn't take the content exam. I took the representative.
So there are two representative exams. There is a representative content and there is a representative PPR.
Oh.
So if you took the representative content, great, you're good. Now you want to take the representative PPR. So basically, here's the general rule for my students. If you are in Knowing and Learning, 3301, you are going to take your content exam, your secure representative content exam, one of these. If you are in Classroom Interactions, 3302, you are going to take your secure representative PPR exam, this first one. If you are somebody who already took Classroom Interactions but didn't take one of these, or you already took Knowing and Learning but you forgot to take your content or something happened, then sign up for whichever one you need. But generally, 99% of students, if you are in Knowing and Learning, you are going to be signing up for one of these content exams, Secure Representative Content, Certified Teacher, and if you are in Classroom Interactions, you will be signing up for your Secure Representative PPR exam.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes, I already took the content.
Okay.
I already passed the practice. I
Good.
already submit the login. but I didn't pick that up at the building.
Okay, so let's talk about that next part. So just to recap where we're at.
And
You picked your time, you signed up, you take your secure representative exam, you go to Certify Teacher, you select the correct exam, you show up on test day, show up, on your computer, you'll have a Zoom link, you take it with the master teacher, they give you your log. At that point, you have access to the program, you work on it on your own pace. Now, what a lot of people here are talking about is passing. What does passing mean? So that means kind of different things depending on the exam. For the content, passing is an 80% or higher. This does not have to be on your benchmark. In fact, we don't expect you to have an 80% or higher on your benchmark. It's a benchmark. It's your first try. You're probably not going to pass it. That's okay. That's cool. That's expected. All right. Most people don't. But you go back, you work on the study plan, you take the practice exams at your own pace until you get that 80% or higher. And then what you do is you are now going to email your exam history, which is on Certify Teacher, and that log that you received from the master teacher when you took the test with them. That could be a paper log or it could be a digital log depending on when you took it. Was it pre-COVID or post-COVID? Okay, doesn't matter. You're going to take that exam history and that completed log, and you are going to email it to one of the co-directors, Dr. Smith or Dr. Chapman. Then you are going to go onto the OEPA website, the link is right here, and you are going to complete a test request form. They are going to send you specific information about how to upload all these documents to TK20, and then you can take the real official TExES content exam. Same thing for PPR with one slight difference. With PPR, you have to get an 80% or higher in each domain. There are 4 domains, so you have to get an 80% or higher for every single one of them. So if you get 100 on domain 1, but a 70 on domain 2, can you take the official exam?
No.
No, you gotta get an 80% or higher on every single domain. So once you have that, you are going to email your score report and exam history and completed log to the co-directors. Once they give you approval, you upload it to OEPA. And again, they will give you instructions on how to upload it to TK20. Once that's done, you can take the official TExES PPR exam. Now, the score report and exam history are on Certified Teacher. The log is the log you get with us when you take the secure representative exam. So if you are being held up, we have some people who said, I'm being held up on taking my exam. Where are you on this path? Did you email the co-directors? Is that where you're being held up? If that's the case, email the co-director. Are you being held up because of OEPA? You submitted everything to OEPA, but you haven't received notice. Then you want to email OEPA. That's the contact person, is depending on where you are in this chain. They will be the ones who can help you. You don't hear back within, say, 48 hours, feel free to contact them again. I will warn you right now, OEPA is completely swamped trying to deal with getting teachers placed at schools for student teaching. So that might be part of the lag. They're working very hard. It's a very difficult semester for them because there is so much flux with COVID. So that might be why, but again, it's good to follow up politely, always politely. Remember, these people are working very hard. They are under a lot of pressure and stress. So send them a polite email saying, here I am in the process. Please let me know when I can expect to hear if you need any additional information. Include, your student ID, things of that nature. And then that should help move your application along so you can apply for the official TExES exam and take that real exam, the one that will count towards your certification. Questions about that?
Yes, ma'am, I'm back. I'm sorry. My light went off right now. Okay, so I was saying, I submitted the paper and then they emailed me back to go pick it up.
So if you,
Pero,
yeah, because what you're going to need to
didn't.
do is everything's online now. So if you submitted a hard copy, then I would actually email, so it depends. Did you submit it in the Brownsville or the Edinburgh campus? Edinburgh campus. I would probably email Paloma Trevino. If you go to the UTRGV website, her email address is there. I think it's her paloma.trevino01 but I can't swear to it. I don't want you to send it to the wrong person. She probably can get access to your file, scan it, and send it to you, so now you can send a digital copy. This is also why we highly recommend keep a copy of everything for yourself, because if you had a paper copy and now we're moving to digital copies, now we have to find and hunt down those paper copies. So with everything, these score reports, these exam histories, your logs, have a file on your computer that says like TExES exam, and it all goes in there. So that way you know where it is and there's no questions about where any of these documents are. So that way if you need to re-upload or resubmit or submit them to a different place, you have that.
Okay, the PR already took the practice exam too with the professor on the computer.
Yes, so you should have received
So I don't have to worry about those.
It depends. Did you do one for both the content and the PPR, or did you just do the content or just do the PPR?
I read both. Actually,
Then you're good. Then you just keep practicing until you get those
get
80% or higher, and then you send it to the co-directors, email it to the co-directors for approval with these documents, and then you can upload everything to OEPA.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so let me see something. Whoops, I'm sorry, did not mean to press that. Let's go back here. One more thing I do want to note is that timelines, sort of when do you want to get certain things done by? So here are our suggestions. If you are in Knowing and Learning, you're going to take that Secure Representative Content exam, and then you work with the program until you get that 80% score or better, and you're ready to take the official exam. You will not be able to take the official exam until you are admitted to the teacher education program. So for most of you, after you finish Knowing and Learning, you'll apply for the spring. You could also apply for the summer or the fall if you wanted, but most of you will apply for the spring. Once you are admitted, then you can take the official exam. You may not take the official exam until you are admitted. You have to finish Knowing and Learning first. You have to be admitted to TEP. So you have this whole semester to study, to work on it, get admitted to TEP, and then the earliest you could take the real content exam would be in the spring, okay? For those of you who are looking to take PBI, we highly recommend you attempt your content exam before PBI. So if you are planning to take PBI next semester, we highly recommend that you take the real content exam by the end of this semester or over winter break. You have to pass both tests before you can do your apprentice teaching, the real ones. You have to pass both real official exams before you can do apprentice teaching. We do not recommend you take them in the same semester. Students who take them in the same semester generally don't do as well. Students who take the content, study for the content really hard, do really well, pass it, then they study really hard for the PPR, do really well, pass it, generally have a better track record than students who are trying to study for both tests in the same semester at the same time and pass them at the same time. That is why we highly recommend you try to get your content out of the way before PBI, and then you work on, between PBI and apprentice teaching, you work on just the PPR. Those are our recommendations. However, we understand with COVID, testing centers may not be open as much. There might be more limited, availability. This may not be something doable for you. We get that. We're going to build in flexibility, but those are our recommendations based off of student success. Students who are more successful tend to follow that pathway versus ones who try to cram both tests into the same semester and try to pass both at the same time. And that is for the real official TExES PPR and TExES content exam. Okay, so that is pretty much everything I wanted to share with you, with one last thing, and then I'll answer some more questions, and that is the policy. If you've taken one of these before, you've probably seen this document. You are going to get a new one. It's been updated to reflect some of the changes since COVID. So when you get this email, this will be emailed to you. You are going to keep a copy for your records. Again, stick it in that little file that I recommended. But at the very, 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 very end, by the way, there's a Q&A here, or an FAQ here frequently asked questions. So if you have other questions, this is a good place to go check it out. This is now an editable PDF. You will print your name, put your student ID, sign it. You can use a digital signature. If you don't have access to a digital signature, you can always use like Draw on Microsoft Word or something, or you can just type it if that works better for you, and date it. You will complete this, and then you are going to upload this. You're going to save it, and you are going to upload it to this file right here where it says submit your signed TExES exam policy. So you'll fill in that last page, save the document, and upload it here. When you upload it, I'm going to type this into the chat, and I will put it also into the email. Please use the following naming convention. It just makes our lives easier. You're going to type your first name _ last name, and then the title of the document, which in this case will be the official policy. So I will type official policy or TExES exam official policy. Okay, that's just going to make life a lot easier for us. There are 81 of you. Please do not make us open up every single document to figure out whose is whose. Please put your name, first name _ last name _ TExES exam official policy. That will make it a lot easier when we file this, that we have on record that you receive the information, you understand the information, and that you are ready to do what you need to do to get ready for these exams. One thing that is important is that the secure representative exam is not optional, it is mandatory. You do have to take these, both for the PPR and for the content. You have to take one of these, okay? So if you have issues where none of these times work or something else, you can't take it through Zoom, something of that nature, please let us know. But these are mandatory, so you will need to take these exams before you can take the official exams, which you do need to take in order to become a certified teacher here in the state of Texas. All right, so that is pretty much everything I need to share with you. This will be recorded so you can watch it at your leisure. All the documents I shared with you will be emailed to you, as well as if you go here, they're all in that file that says Certified Teacher Documents. So you will have access to this folder. It will have the link to register. It will have this link to Certified Teacher. It will have all of the documents we went over today, plus a few more. And it will have the place for you to submit your signed official log. After the secure representative exam, to get the secure representative exam, once you register, you'll receive an email with the link to Zoom plus instructions. And then your master teacher will provide you digitally through email your signed log, as well as a couple extra documents for what you need to do from there. Okay, so that pretty much covers everything I need to cover. I'm going to just open it up now to any more questions that any students have.
Ms. Gilbert, I had a question about, because you were talking about PBI, the apprentice teaching. Is that after 3301?
Yeah, so your sequence, let me grab this document up here. Your sequence is this. So 3301, Knowing and Learning. That one you're going to sign up for the Secure Representative Content Exam, and then you start studying for it. Remember, you can't take the real one until you get into TEP. And then you want to get it passed, not passed, you want to get attempted, the real content exam before PBI. So what does that look like? So if you're in Knowing and Learning right now in the fall, and you're following the normal sequence where you take one of these classes every semester, you're going to take Classroom Interactions next semester. You're going to take PBI the semester after that. That's going to be fall 2021. So you're right here. You have this semester, winter
Actually,
break.
I'm in 3302. Sorry, I'm actually in 3302.
Well, I'll finish this and then I'll get to yours. So you're gonna have this semester, you're gonna have winter break, you're gonna have the spring semester, and you're gonna have the summer, all to get, finish your certified teacher, get that 80%, and then take the official exam and pass it before PBI. That's a good chunk of time. That's why we start you with the content right here. So that way you have that whole year effectively to try to take that real exam, to get ready for that real exam. If you are right here in classroom interactions, you have this semester and you have winter break. Not as much time, but still enough time to study, to get your 80%, to sign up to take the official exam before PBI, before next semester.
Yeah, because I already took the content exam, which was spring last semester, and I was still doing the practice exam, but then, like, COVID happened and all that stuff, so I never got to like take the other practice one. I haven't been able to take the other practice one, but once I do,
yeah,
no, for the content.
Oh, for the content, yeah.
Yeah, because
so
I already took it last semester.
You still have the whole fall. You still have winter break. So it's not like you don't have time. You still have time to get that done. Now, some of you are not going to want to take the real test right now because you're not going to want to go into a testing center. I get it. That's okay. We understand with COVID that situations are a little different. And so we're going to be flexible with that, but that would be our recommendation. Study for it this fall, study for it over winter break, try to take it if you can before spring. That would be our goal. Try to take it before spring. But again, if that's not going to work for you for a variety of reasons, we understand.
Okay.
So somebody asked if the links are going to be found on Blackboard. No, there is no Blackboard course for everybody because you're all in different courses. So they will be emailed to you. The OneDrive link and all the documents will be emailed to you. That's why at the very beginning, it was very important if you are not receiving these emails from me that you get on my email list, because these will be communicated to you through email. Now, I can also email your professors in Knowing and Learning, in Classroom Interactions, and PBI, and I can send them these documents. And they've been awesome and really great about posting them and advertising, things like the info session. But email is really our most direct way that we will be communicating these with you. I'm also going to try to get all of these documents on the UTeach website. We're in the process of that, having a little section just for the TExES exam. So that way, if you need to upload anything or have any of these links, you can go to the website. So we're working on that as well. Okay, we have a question here. If we obtain the 80% and do all the steps, does OEPA notify us that we can take the official exam, or how does that work now? I don't officially know because I'm never on the receiving end of that. I believe they do. I believe once you upload everything to TK20, you should probably receive some sort of email communication from OEPA that says, here's all the information for registering for the official exam. That would be my understanding. But again, I've never been on your side, so I'm not exactly sure what that email looks like. Okay. Is the log the field hours we've completed? No, the log is the log that you receive from the master teachers when you take your secure representative exam. This used to be a paper log when we did it in person. Now it is going to be emailed to you after you take it through Zoom. So you're going to go to Zoom with the Zoom link that will be provided based off the time that you register for. The master teacher will be there. They'll give you all the instructions. I'll also email you all the instructions ahead of time with screenshots so you know what everything looks like. You'll take your exam through Certify Teacher with that master teacher. When you're done, you'll let them know your score. They'll fill in the log. They'll email it back to you. And that is the log that we're talking about. Save that log. Have a little file on your computer. Save it, save it, save it so you don't lose it. Some of you have lost your logs. If you lost your logs, email me. I'll check and the date. Tell me the date that you took it. I'll check the sign-in logs and I'll make sure that you're there, you're good, you're checked off, and I can email you a new copy, a new signed copy. But please, please, please save your logs so that I don't have to email 81 of you a new copy. Other questions? Is there a way we can know the dates we can take the official exam? You can look at the testing centers and look at what dates are available and see what dates they have available, and hopefully once you get approval, that date will still be available. I can't make any guarantees, but you can look and see what they have at the moment. Now that's for the official exam. For the secure representative exam, these are the dates. These are the dates we have available. There are 9 of them because there are 9 master teachers. So half of them are going to be in September, half of them are going to be in November. You pick the day and time that works best for you. I would recommend probably do September. Your semester's not going to get less busy, but you know, if these don't work for you and you need to do the November dates, by all means, go for that. Other questions? If you are in PBI and need one official exam, what is the last day to take care of it to be able to do apprentice teaching? Those dates are determined by OEPA. So I would recommend going to the OEPA website. I will find it for you here. This document has the OEPA website. They will notify you. They have not put, the last I checked, they had not put them on the website yet. Otherwise, I would have told you, but they will post those dates. What is the last official day before apprentice teaching that you can upload the official exam documents? So check the OEPA website. When I get that information, I will share it out through our social media. If you are not following our social media, follow our Facebook group, follow our Twitter, UTRGV, UTeach. That is how I usually send out a lot of information as well. So between our website, Facebook, Twitter, and email, that is how we're going to be communicating deadlines and dates. But things like OEPA deadlines, those will probably go out through Facebook and Twitter. So check those. Also, Miss Solis is really good about emailing about those dates for anyone who's thinking about going into apprentice teaching. She usually will email you out those dates once we have them. All right, if I already took both the PPR and the content, do I just worry about doing the modules? I'm assuming you're talking about the secure representative. Yes. If you've taken the secure representative, just keep doing those modules until you get that 80% overall for the content or an 80% in each domain for the PPR. Once you have those, follow the steps down here, email them to the co-directors with the appropriate documents, and then upload everything to OEPA, and then you can take the official exam. Okay, let's see what else we got. Just to be sure, the first step would be to register for the Certified Teacher website, then register for the content exam. Yes, so your order of operations. You are going to, let's go back to this document. You're going to register for Certified Teachers. You're going to go to the Certified Teacher website, this one right here. And you are going to register for the correct exam. Which is the correct exam? We have them listed. Make sure you're paying attention. Don't register for the wrong one because then we can't reimburse you if you already take it. Well, we can never reimburse you, but the program could reimburse you if you've already taken it. Okay, then you're going to take your secure representative exam. You will sign up for that. Here it is. Sign up for the day and time that you like best. You'll receive an email from me with the Zoom links. You'll click that Zoom link on that day and time. You'll log into Certified Teacher for that program. That should be the first time you actually enter that program, will be when you take that secure representative exam with the master teacher. They will go through all the directions with you. The instructions will be emailed. You'll take it. You'll get your score. They'll fill in your log. They'll email your log. And then you keep working on it on your own until you get those 80% or higher. And then you can take the real exam. One exception of that would be my knowing and learning students. You don't get to take the real exam until you've been admitted into the teacher education program, which is after knowing and learning. Then you can take the official exam. All right, since I'm in the CI class, is it recommended to take already the content exam, the real one, before PBI? Yes, that is the recommendation. If you are in CI, please start making plans to have your 80% or better and sign up and take the real content exam before PBI, before next semester, for most of you, before next semester. That means you have now and you have winter break. So just keep that in mind. Now, some of you won't be taking PBI till next fall. All right, well then you also have the spring and the summer as well. All right, if we already have a CT account because the content exam benchmark, Do we still register through that account for the PPR? Yes, you should use the same account through your @UTRGV email. For both, you are just paying for a second test, but you have the same Certified Teacher account. They will only give you the discount if you use the @UTRGV email address. So you must use the same account. Don't create 2 different accounts. That's going to just cause a lot of problems. @utrgv.edu email for both for your account, and then you just pay for 2 different programs. One will be your content and one will be your PPR. Okay, on the documents for content codes, there's one that says math through 4 through 8, and then there's one that says math through 4 through 8. How do I know what the difference is? There actually is no difference. They're the same test. See, 115. One is if you're getting a BS, one is if you're getting a BIS. So some people are getting a Bachelor of Sciences, some are getting a Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Sciences, I want to say. I think that's what the I stands for. So they're the same one. I just put it both because people are going to get confused. So it's like, all right, whichever one you are, it's the same test. Just put them both there so people wouldn't be like, wait, mine's not on here. So there you go. All right, that brings us to 428. Any more questions? I am going to sign us off in 1 minute, but if there are any more questions.
I have a question.
Yes, go for it.
So I took the benchmark and I got the 80% already, and I'm in CI. Should I take the PPR practice first, or should I take the real content first?
So you want to sign up to take the practice. You got to take the practice PPR this semester.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you are ready to take that content before whichever date you selected here, go for it. You don't have to wait, but you do want to make sure that you sign up for one of these. So if you, let's say you sign up for November 9th, but you're ready to take your content on October 3rd, that's fine. That shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. So we have a question. If you are not going to be student teaching until the fall of next year, or the fall of next year, do you still have time to do the content, math, and PPR by then? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got all fall, winter break, all of spring, summer to pass those exams. So by all means, you have time, but just start planning out that time, thinking about, when do I want to take the real fall content exam? When do I want to take the real PPR exam? And then work backwards. So kind of plan backwards from there. So pick your due dates and then plan, okay, so this is by the time where I have to have that 80% or better for this exam. And this is the time where I have to have this 80% or better for the other one. So that way you can sort of make sure that you reach your deadlines and reach your timelines and are not waiting to do everything at the last minute. Okay, so we're at 4:30. This session has been recorded. So I will be sharing that recording with you through email, as well as the link to the OneDrive, as well as all the documents. Before I go, just a quick reminder to everyone, please sign your official policy and upload it to the OneDrive. Please register for the exam that you need to register for. And then everything else will be communicated to you through email. If you have any other questions, you should all have my email address. Feel free to ask. Thank you all for taking this time to come. I appreciate having you.